Hello and welcome to another episode of Enter the Nerdosphere, your number one home for all of the latest news and rumors hobbling around, floating around, spinning around inside what we call the Nerdosphere. The Nerdosphere, as you may be able to guess, encompasses everything the nerds like, from movies to TV to video games to comics to books, everything.
To Victoria's Secret.
OMG.
It's my favorite place in the mall.
So welcome.
Hey.
I'm Clayton Presson. I'm joined as always and forever by my brother Corbin Presson.
Or until one of us dies.
No,
Forever.
always and forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happens if one of us dies? The podcast has to stop.
It won't stop. It can't stop.
What happens to the person?
Well, I imagine by the time one of us dies, technology will be far enough along to where I could put a picture of your face.
Right.
Because, I mean, you're probably going to die before me, let's be honest. So...
What sense could that possibly even make? You're older than I am.
Exactly. So I
would die after you.
No, I have more experience in the world because I've been alive for 4 more years. So your inexperience will lead to your downfall one day. Anyways, so I'd be able to set up a digital moving image somehow, whether it be through images.
I hope that everyone that is listening to the podcast can hear your stupid squeaks on this table.
Let me get back to my story. So you
Hologram.
died.
A hologram.
And, well, I mean, there may be a hologram.
Or an RLD for those Marvel comic fans or real life decoy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the technology, obviously.
Obvi.
However, somehow I will project an image of you, pre-record the news and rumors for the week, mess around with the sounds of my voice so I sound a little bit more like you.
Okay.
Then I talk to you, even though you're not here, but you are here. So there it is.
Cool. All right.
Always and forever. And then I'll have it set up in my will that when I finally die, many years after you, that my heirs, children, grandchildren, whoever it may be at that time,
Okay.
has to then do the same thing to me and continue the podcast forever.
Dang.
So get ready, world.
For the nation of the internet that wants to watch us.
Yes. Forever.
Okay.
So besides that,
So that's forever.
yes.
We didn't do podcasts last week due to scheduling, life, and laziness.
Yeah.
But I remember you saying that when we did the chit chat, there was something that you wanted to talk about regarding Cadis's teacher.
Oh man, this is old, but yeah, we can talk about it.
Well, it's old for you, but it's not really that old for me, and it certainly is not old for anyone who's listening right now, unless it's their third listen through.
I mean, I guess that's true. And there was actually even another development today because I don't know what they're doing over there at that school.
Well,
So let me think here. So basically what happened was,
she implemented this thing, which she wants to do, right? Like every morning.
well, no. I don't even know what you're talking about. So every day, so we'll start here. Every day, the children come home with some sort of face.
No. I'm talking about the note. She's supposed to check the book bags for a
I
note or
know,
something.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Getting there.
It's just taking longer.
No, you're right.
I know about the faces. We talked about it already. I'm talking
Yeah.
about... You wanted to talk about it last week when we didn't do the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So we have paperwork filled out saying sometimes Cadus will ride the bus to the intermediate school where his aunt, my sister-in-law, works.
The bane of my existence, my arch nemesis.
So the teacher has a daily folder that like she puts in all the work that they did during the day, if there's homework or newsletters or like book orders, that kind of stuff gets sent home in this folder.
Sure.
Inside this folder is the infamous emoji calendar that I've talked about before.
Cool.
Where we can tell how our child did every day based on a smiley face, squirrely face, or sad face.
Okay.
So this calendar that she does the stickers on is on the back of a small zipper bag thing.
Okay.
That's attached to the inside of the folder. Okay. Following?
I'm following.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This zipper bag is made for one purpose. That is for parents to place notes or important information or lunch money, things of this nature. So
Very important things.
Important things. Okay. Lunch money aside. Still very important. But I mean lunch money. So it's supposed to be checked. And this is put in place by the teacher. It's supposed to be checked every morning for notes, lunch money, whatever.
Okay.
So, for the second time this year, she did not check it. Cadus was supposed to ride the bus. He sat in the pickup line for more than an hour. Finally, somebody realized.
How do you even get to an hour?
Well, I mean, there's lots of kids.
For an hour?
Well, here's how they do it. Because they send kindergarten down first at like 2:45, 2:50. They sit while their parents walk through and pick them up. Then they send down first grade. Then they send down second grade, so on and so forth.
This is an hour-long process, though, to empty out the school.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been there past that, but I'm just saying it reached a point where it was obvious nobody was coming, which, I mean, he's been sitting there for an hour.
I'm surprised they were at least that honest with you and told you that amount of time.
Well, we got a phone call. That's how we know how much time.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's not like they called and said, "Oh, he's been waiting for an hour with it." Like, you called me an hour and 15 minutes later when he should have been at Katie's school. So they call and they're like, Cadus is still here. What's going on? And we're like, he's supposed to ride the bus. There's a note in his folder that we sent for his teacher through the process that the teacher put in place to check every day. So the people, teachers, aides, whoever watches the pickup kids, like opens the backpack, opens the folder, and sees the note. So then I Facebook messaged the teacher.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Details. When Clayton's pissed, I need details because it's juicy and it's exciting.
You want me to just read it verbatim?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to make this like a super long thing, but
It's fine. News and rumors are scarce this week. Let's get into drama. Come on. You don't need soaps. There's real life.
All right, hang on. Pulling up messages now.
You've got a dunderhead teacher who's been entrusted to bring up the nation's youth.
This is the second time, mind you, that a note has been missed. The first time was also regarding his, status, after school. What is he supposed to do? Because Abby took the time, like we were supposed to fill out paperwork that said sometimes he will ride he's a pickup, but sometimes he will ride the bus. So there was confusion because the first few days we went to go pick him up, he's in the bus line. So, like, it was this big hullabaloo, and the teachers are like, well, he's supposed to ride the bus. And we're like, no, he's not. Well, you're going to have to fix the paperwork. Okay, well, we fixed the paperwork. So we fill out the paperwork again, and then send it to school. Teacher doesn't look at the note, doesn't see that there's paperwork to be turned in. And he's again sent to the bus. This is like first week of school. So this is the second time now that the teacher didn't check. So let me hang on. What's her name? Where is that?
How many times do you Facebook message someone?
Well, not very many times, but I don't see her here.
Did she block you?
That would be interesting. How long ago was this?
It was last week.
She's not in here. Oh, here it is. Why is she at the top? Like I just messaged her.
Because she's probably the last person you messaged on Facebook Messenger.
No, because
How active are you on Facebook Messenger?
I mean, I guess not that much.
Clearly.
That used to be my main source of communicating with Seth, our Destiny Fire Team buddy.
I thought you used the PlayStation now. PlayStation message.
No. Okay, so. Good afternoon. I have a concern to bring to your attention. Bear in mind, this is like the 5th draft.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm sure the first one was much more fiery.
Yes.
That's the one I want to hear. But I'll listen to what your 5th draft is.
Good afternoon. I have a concern to bring to your attention. Today, our son's, Cadis Presson, folder was not checked for notes. This is the 2nd time already this year a note has been missed. Your parent night presentation stated folders would be checked daily for notes. He was supposed to ride the bus to his aunt at the intermediate school. But instead, he waited for an hour before someone realized no one was on the way and we were called. This is very concerning. Riding the bus to the intermediate will be a semi-regular occurrence. We send notes via the folder, trusting they will be checked daily and viewed. Thanks for all you do. Clayton Presson.
I wouldn't even put the thanks. You're much more reserved than I would have been. I would have been like, you literally have one job to do, and that's to take care of my kid.
I mean, to be honest, the first draft was a little bit more like that. Plus, we already had like that bad first impression of her because she like she wants parent volunteers to make her copies and like cut out her construction paper pieces.
Get off your lazy ass and do your effing job.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have this like perception of her already. And then you want the response?
I want the response because she does not sound like a responsible human being and one that should not be in charge of the minds of our youths.
I am really sorry about today. I did check his folder.
No, you didn't.
But I must have overlooked the note. It's possible that it was small and behind the paper taped to the bag. So this paper taped to the bag is like the calendar. So for those of you who cannot see the folder, which is everyone,
I'm not even
picture like a clear pencil case, like the old time zipper pencil cases. Okay, picture that, but it's clear. The entire opposite side of the zipper is a piece of calendar. The entire side. The other side, completely clear. So the note was behind the paper. Well, guess what? The paper's taking up the whole other side. So you didn't even like flip it to look through the clear side to see? Anyways.
She sounds like an idiot.
I will try to be extra careful when checking his folder.
But you just do the baseline of your job.
This is where it gets good. If you would be more comfortable, you can call the office before noon for bus changes. So this is like...
It's not your job to harbor over it.
Right, exactly. That's like exactly.
You've done what you're supposed to do.
I know. So it's like, that's the way I took it. I mean, you could call the office.
Can she just be fired? She's so stupid.
So it gets better, though. It gets better. Next day. So, okay.
This is no
We
longer
talked-
a
hold on,
podcast
hold on.
about news and rumors.
Hold on.
This is the dope of the week segment.
Hold
and
on.
it is
Hold on.
Cadis's teacher.
Hold on. So I brought up the trials and tribulations of the squiggly face the first couple weeks of school.
Okay.
So basically the remainder of like August, because they started like the 18th. So like that week and then the week after. So you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
sure,
he had
sure.
he had 5 green smiley faces and 4 yellow squiggly faces. Since then, thanks to punishment, getting video games taken away, you can't do this, can't do that. He's come home with smiley faces every day. Okay?
Okay.
Every day. Smiley face,
So
smiley face, smiley face,
this
smiley
team
face,
effort
smiley
seems
face,
to be
smiley face.
working.
Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Day after this incident happens. Day after. Cadis's folder comes home with whatever the date was. I'm like, no, I'm not even going to look. See note. There's a note inside the zipper from the teacher.
Well, so she found it. She knows where it's at now.
Oh, yeah, she knows where it's at now.
Cool.
The note says, Cadis is very active, exclamation point. He likes to run, jump, and twirl. Please have a conversation with him about this.
What does that mean?
It means the teacher who is unable or unwilling to make her own copies, cut out her own things for projects, unable or unwilling to check the folders properly every day. Got in trouble. Sent home a note to get us in trouble.
But what does that even mean? Like running and twirling?
So, I mean, I'm guessing like when they're in the hall. Well, I mean, it could even be in the classroom because, again, this teacher believes in like the free sitting or
Like
whatever,
exercise
where they
balls
have
and
like
stuff.
she's got exercise balls instead of chairs and like pillows instead of chairs.
I hate this woman.
So, and then the biggest thing is he's coming home with green smiley faces, which
Right.
is our only indication that he's doing a good job.
Right.
The day after we bring this concern to her, and you know somebody probably said something like from the office or something because the ladies down in the pickup line found the note that she should have found.
Right.
So you know somebody at the school said something to her probably. The very next day, we get a note that says, Cadis is very active. So of course, we had a conversation with Cadis about walking, being still when you're inside the school.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like, how can you not have control? Like, your job is basically to be, I mean, she's supposed to teach the kids. I mean, she's supposed to be in charge of these kids. She should have,
She's the authority figure. She is
that's the word I was looking for. She's the authority figure.
in Asia, the teacher is the source of discipline. The teacher will actually send notes home to the parents saying your child's misbehaving. They are grounded from TV for 2 weeks. And then the teacher will then check up to make sure that punishment was followed through. And if it's not, that kid gets expelled from the school.
I mean, that's intense. Obviously, that's not the case here.
Obviously not. But I'm just saying, to put in perspective, a teacher's job is not just to like stand there and do nothing. Like you are supposed to.
And unfortunately, that's the impression we have so far. And that's the
She sounds like an idiot.
That's the impression she's giving off. So that's, and like I said, we haven't had any issues since then, but we'll see. So that was a long slice of life having a kindergartner.
Dope of the week.
Abby was actually really mad about it.
Well, I bet.
When she saw that note, she's like, she asked Katie if we could switch teachers. Like, is it possible to switch teachers? Like, she was so upset about it. So, We haven't, and we probably won't. But it's like, come on.
Yeah. Own up.
But with all that aside, let's crack open the interwebs, grab all the grains of salt in news and rumors.
For the sake of time, I'll just let the viewers know that I am doing swell.
Oh yeah,
That's my side of chit chat.
I mean, you wanted to hear this.
Well, I did, and that's fine. I have no juicy details. I've gone to the Cardinal game like 3 times in the past week. It's been awesome. I love it. We heard that the person I go to the Cardinal games with, they have these season tickets, and it's like right behind home plate, and it's like 3 rows behind the green seats. It's like beautiful. I've loved it. I've apparently gone to more Cardinal games than anyone else in her family this season.
Oh wow.
But because of that, since no one has really utilized the tickets for the first time in her entire life, so them owning the license to these seats for the past like 18 years,
Yeah.
they're selling the license. And I was like, damn it, Rachel, you got me attached to these seats, and this is it. The 26 is the last game I'm going to in these seats.
It's too bad, so sad.
You don't understand. I went to a game on Sunday with Nick, and they were pretty good seats. And he was like, aren't these great seats? And I was like, they're okay. I've been on better. There's better out there.
I've been better, he says.
Anyways, okay, so news and rumors. Ba-da-ba-ba. Everyone, Civil War is officially out on Blu-ray this week. Go out and buy it. I personally went out and bought it on Tuesday, and I did what I do with every movie that I wait for, and that is I had first watched every single special feature that is on that Blu-ray. Then I watched the movie. Then the next day I watched the movie with the commentary, and I have done that. And boy, was it a ride.
I bet.
So good.
I actually was just thinking about it. I need to look and see when that comes out. Very detached.
This commentary was a lot of fun to listen to because not only did it have both the Russo brothers on it, but it also had McFeely and the other screenwriter. Those 2 are the screenwriters who did Winter Soldier, and they're also the 2 screenwriters who are doing the next Avenger movies. So you really get to see the chemistry that these 4 guys have together as they're talking about everything, and their understanding of the characters and where they've come from and how they're propelling them forward. It was probably the most fun I've had listening to commentary, aside from the first Avengers movie where Kevin Feige was on the commentary, along with Tom Hiddleston.
Nice.
And Joss Whedon. So, while out promoting The Magnificent Seven at the Toronto International Film Festival, Vincent how do you spell his name? The Kingpin. It's not spelled.
I don't know.
D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio had nothing but compliments from Marvel Television, Netflix, and Jeff Loeb in an interview with LRN. He says, Marvel, the company, and especially Jeff Loeb, who runs Marvel Television, he's very clever. Bookmark that statement really quick. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay. I mean, we already talked about him being a dope last week. I proved him wrong.
The 10 o'clock time slot for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. means it can be more edgy.
Yeah.
On Friday night.
Talking about how, remember I had to look up and just for my own thought process and sense of security prove that Daredevil was in fact in production when
before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and he made it seem like Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D.
is like
only happened because Agents of
right, exactly, yeah. So
gotcha. All those people over there are pretty clever, and I love and they love talent. There's no giant commitment for me at Daredevil. Like, I didn't have to sign my life away at all. When Jeff tells me there's something coming up, and if I'm available, I'll be there. And because it's written so well, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do everything I can because the writing is so good. And then there's a company like Netflix, and they're not pressuring you either. They just want good material, good content. They give you money to make good content. So they're not pressuring actors to sign their life away either. I think there's this common ground where they say, look, if the material is good and you're going to show up, and I say, definitely. The follow-up question was naturally about when Wilson Fisk will next be seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Quick side note, I think that someone on the internet made a joke about the acronyms of DC and Marvel, and I really think that this phrasing is a little misleading. They're talking about when he's going to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, referencing Netflix.
yeah.
But Marvel Cinematic Universe also just kind of implies films because it's cinematic. And someone had posted MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, equals movies, and television. DCEU, DC Extended Universe, equals movies and television separate. And they were like,
Right.
who wrote these and when did they get mixed up? Because it should be the other way around, where it's
Yeah.
like Marvel Extended Universe, because you have the movie side and TV side. Because although they're like in the same, they're not really in the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think probably where the DCEU came from is they didn't want to call it the DCCU. The DCCU.
I guess it's...
So, and then of course the MCU is just expanding. It was originally the MCU and now it's expanding into television. So that's my guess.
I guess so. So anyways, his comment on when we will see Wilson Fisk next is, that I can't answer. I do know, but I can't answer. So take that how you will. Jeff and Charlie Cox and Netflix love Kingpin, and so Kingpin is good for Marvel's television stuff, and I think they agree. So he's aware of when he's going to show up next, but he can't talk about it.
That's actually a little surprising because I've got it on my DVR because I thought it was just a special on AMC, but there's a new show with Kevin Smith and the dude who plays the dude with mind powers from Heroes.
Matt Parkman.
Yeah, and then he's that random pilot in Force Awakens. So them two are on this show now called Geeking Out or Geeked Out or something on AMC. And I thought it was just a Comic-Con special, but it's actually a show, so I've accidentally been recording it all even though I don't watch it. Anyways, long story short, Kevin Smith interviewed Matthew Cox, and Matthew Cox has no idea what's coming up. Like, he made it very clear. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. I'm just waiting. So, it's interesting that he knows, at least when he's showing back up, which means he knows more than Matthew Cox. Matthew Cox knows. See, Matthew Cox had to find out about season 3 on the internet. Or no, he said a fan came up to him and was talking about how excited he was about season 3, and Matthew Cox didn't even know.
Oh, man.
So
I'm sure he was like, I'm excited too.
yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you for letting me know.
And I really like Charlie Cox. And we've been saying it for a while, but
Charlie Cox, sorry.
he needs to step over to the film side because he will act circles around even RDJ, I think. He's very good.
Yeah.
He's so good. Supergirl season 1 is now officially on Netflix. It didn't come with, like, with each month there's always like a new wave of things that like go and leave. This one kind of came off beat. It was kind of like on its own. It just like showed up on Netflix.
Okay.
But it's there for if you guys want to watch. We won't get into it because we're gonna do a pseudo review, our impressions of the show.
Yeah.
Later.
Nerdosphere versus Supergirl. Stay tuned.
Flash season 3 episode 1 Flashpoint. We officially have a synopsis. What would you sacrifice to have everything you've ever wanted? Barry, Grant Gustin, is living his dream life. His parents are alive. He's asked Iris West on a date, and he can finally be a normal guy as Central City has another speedster, Kid Flash. Wally. I almost said Bart.
Why is he called Kid Flash?
If Flash.
If Flash doesn't exist.
Shh. A time traveler did it.
Oh.
Remember, that's the mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Running around saving the city. When Barry starts forgetting parts of his old life, the Reverse Flash taunts his nemesis and tells him that there will be serious repercussions for Barry and the ones he loves if he continues to live in this alternate universe. In addition to losing his memories, his powers will also start to fade. When disaster strikes, Barry must decide if he wants to continue to live in this world as Barry Allen or return to his universe as the Flash. Jesse Warren directed the episode, with story by Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kreisberg, and teleplay by Brooke Roberts.
Oh. Cool. That's just a one episode one-off, right?
I think they really described it as like a two-parter.
Oh.
But yeah, it's very short-lived.
Yeah, I really think they missed the ball on doing something really cool.
I do
know
too.
what I mean? They have complete control over this universe, the CW verse, and they could have done so many cool things. So many cool things.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of CW, I was reading an interview with Andrew Kreisberg as he was talking about the shift of Supergirl leaving CBS and coming to CW, and the biggest change to happen.
Yeah.
Besides the obvious budget cut of it's no longer $3 million an episode, clearly.
Right.
Is that they've moved their filming studio to Vancouver instead of LA.
Yeah.
And he said the reasons for this were to give the show a bigger scope, so you could truly feel that it's a little bit bigger, a little bit grander, so they can go out, they can have the freedom to go out into the streets and film without having to do clever editing. So he was like, yeah, every once in a while there will be rain. You might even see her breath every once in a while. But for the grand scheme of the show, the move was very, very important to elevate it to the next level.
Right.
Which that coupled with them bringing Superman into it, I think is... so far, everything on paper looks kosher, looks good. Looks like they're making the necessary changes.
Yeah.
And we can get into that when we do the Supergirl review. But I'm intrigued, to say the least.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn spin-off film is officially moving forward at Warner Brothers, and Margot Robbie will be executive producer under her studio, Lucky Chap Entertainment. THR can confirm that there will be other heroines in the film.
She's not a heroine, so how could there be other heroines?
I see what you did there.
Interesting. Stupid. I hate it. Quit it.
I mean, it passed 700 million.
Good. Fantastic for them.
And Warner Brothers under the impression that she had a large part to do with that, so they want to...
She was terrible.
Well, I wouldn't say she was terrible.
No, she's terrible. And she's a bad actress.
She was good in Wolf on Wall Street.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Wolf on Wall Street?
No, and it's on Netflix, and I still haven't watched it. What do you say now? What?
That movie is so good. Why haven't you seen it?
Because Margot Robbie's in it, and she's a terrible
Leo
actress.
and Scorsese, the dynamic duo. Come on now.
No, I just pulled that out of my butt. I just haven't watched it.
James Cameron's Attila Battle Angel, the new film based on the anime. It's an old anime, from like the 80s. Has casted Jackie Earle Haley, who is Watchmen's Rorschach, as a cyborg villain.
Speaking of Rorschach. Wait, no. My mind immediately went to Night Owl.
We'll get there.
And then that's where that came from. But I misspoke.
What I find kind of funny about this is that this film keeps being referred to as James Cameron's Attila, but the director of this movie is Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, poor Robert. He's kind of like... Oh, poor Robert.
Not only poor him, but it also lets you know ahead of time what kind of movie it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like Machete.
Wait a second.
Robert Rodriguez.
I mean, Robert Rodriguez is like the over-the-top Latino version of Quentin Tarantino. So how do you mix James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez?
I don't know. And he's also, but he has made a name for himself, so it's funny that
No, I know.
his name can't be plastered on it.
It's weird.
Probably under the banner of Trouble. I think it's Troublemaker is the studio that he always uses, but yeah, that's interesting.
Why is James Cameron's name plastered over the title?
I don't know.
He's so full of himself.
How is that even a
like,
collaborative venture?
You know what that is? He saw that Marvel is now naming all their movies Marvel's Captain America Civil War, and he's like, wait a second. James can't, because he speaks in third person.
Of course,
James Cameron
he always speaks in third person.
must do this also.
Oh, I guess something else that has happened. I don't think I talked about this in the last podcast, and it's not on my list because I forgot to write it down. The Avatar series has now been defined as a family saga. So while the next movie will follow Sam Worthington, the films that come after that will follow their children.
Interesting. So
going
like the Mars from what's it? Oh my gosh, my mind's not here today. I guess.
What, the Mars novels?
Yes.
By Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Exactly.
There we go. We're on the same
those
page.
Words. Those words were the ones.
So that's interesting. I think James Cameron really overestimates how badly people want those films. And I think he's gonna have a rude awakening when the next one comes out.
Oh, he's gonna have a fantastic awakening. It's not gonna be rude. It's gonna be amazing
For us or for him?
for us.
I'm like, you
Because I
idiot.
cannot wait to say, "You're a dope,
Your movie's so stupid.
bro."
So dumb.
He lucked out hardcore with Avatar. Like, I'm
did.
talking lucked out. It came out at the perfect time.
There was nothing else out at the time.
nothing else
No
out.
competition.
It was, the resurgence of 3D with all this brand new, edgy technology. I still can't believe it made that much money and people saw it that many times because it's like a 8-hour movie.
Unoriginal, mind you.
Ugh. But anyway, it came out, and then he like sent it back into theaters. Remember that?
Yep. I do.
It's like he keeps releasing like Titanic back into theaters so it can hold its top spot still.
That's not fair. I mean, I always walk this line where I'm like, that's not fair. But at the same time, people are paying money to go see it. So, like, what is fair?
Right? Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess he can keep doing it
Because people
but,
will
like,
keep paying money.
Like in 10 years, can Marvel re-release Avengers or whatever? Or maybe, Star Wars after Episode 9 comes out should take a 5-year break. And then they should re-release The Force Awakens. And then regain or overtake the #1 spot.
I see what you're doing.
Yes. Yes, you see.
Ghost Rider is the focal point of the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We now have dialogue from the character. We have now seen his muscle car decked out in flames driving down the street. And we also have seen promo images of him with his fiery skull.
I will say
The VFX looks
he
pretty good.
he's straight out of the comic book.
Yeah, his jacket and everything
So-
is to a T.
Good job on that.
I will
For
respect
the first
that.
time ever, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
I
Why not just make a Ghost Rider show, though?
because they want that show to live on.
I mean,
they
know
want
that,
it to live.
but
That's why.
Ghost Rider is a decent property that they could utilize in the
Well,
Netflix.
Yeah, but
series.
if they do a Netflix series, I want it to be like Johnny Blaze, like redeem the original, the OG from the Nicolas Cage films,
Yeah.
and make it dark,
They could
gritty,
get Nicolas Cage to do it again.
hill.
They could get him to do it again.
Maybe have the Winchesters cameo.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm ignoring what you were saying, clearly, in case you didn't know.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Nah, and then, but isn't it funny to look back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and think about how that show was supposed to be? It was supposed to be like a more tech-savvy CSI crime drama when it first came out. They had a strict no superpower rule. It was all about just the weird and the unexplained in the MCU.
Yeah. Well, it was all like based in aliens too. Like everything was an alien. Alien tech, alien. Like there was no metahumans, no augmented humans, no mutants, no inhumans, it was weird. It was like the only way you could be a superhero or superpowered is if you made a suit out of armor with your billions of dollars, or you were an alien. Oh, what?
Yep.
That's not Marvel.
No.
And they've tried to evolve it with the times. They've tried to make it relevant by having direct references with the show to the MCU with no references from the MCU.
The only thing that I have seen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was fun to watch was what was left of the second season. No, it was the first season. Whatever season Winter Soldier came out. I think it was the first season.
It was the first season.
The episodes after Winter Soldier, like when Bill Paxton reveals himself to be Hydra and Grant Ward is Hydra, those last episodes were awesome.
They were decent, yeah. That's back when
But
I
that
still
was, like-
watched and enjoyed the show.
That was the only thing I've ever really...
However, it went like this. So,
terrible.
those Inhumans, though.
So bad. It's funny. their interpretation of the Inhumans is so bad that I'm pretty sure they're the single-handed reason why the Inhumans movie has been put on the back burner.
Yes.
Because they've tainted the brand.
They've destroyed the brand.
So bad.
They destroyed the brand.
Not even Vin Diesel can save that franchise. Because we all know he was going to play Black Bolt.
I mean, good choice because he didn't have to talk. So, I mean, we're good there.
Yep.
But he's kind of short and stocky for a Black Bolt.
Black Bolt's sad. He's like slender.
I mean, he's cut, but he's kind of like tall and slender.
Picture like a Jude Law if he were cut.
Yeah,
like
Jude Law was like
that's Black
more
Bolt.
buff. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I have always said, especially after the that Guardians movie, the animated one with Jack Frost. And,
oh yeah, yeah.
where he voice acted the bad guy. After that movie, I was like, Jude Law needs to play a villain because he makes such a cool villain because the way that his voice and the way he carries himself, he inherently seems like a good guy. But when you put it in that evil presence, there's an eeriness to it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy to see him be the main villain in Guy Ritchie's King Arthur Legend of the Sword. Because that's going to be so cool to finally see him as like an action villain.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited. Steven Tyler has expressed great interest in being in the third Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Who?
Steven Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If it were to be made. James Gunn has acknowledged the interest from Steven and has tactfully responded, he enjoys Steven's work and would love to someday work with him. But it's also important to note that James Gunn has not even said he wants to make a third Guardians movie. In fact, I'm pretty sure he has said things that you could infer that he doesn't want to do a third one yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I think that's going to depend on what old Kevin says.
But this is a tricky one. All the other Marvel movies, to an extent, not even really. Like, Iron Man went down. Iron Man lost its pizzazz when Jon Favreau walked away. Mm-hmm. Cap has its pizzazz with the Russos. Thor has had no stability, and so it's been a wishy-washy franchise from the mass public. The Avengers has
Jaws pizzazz now. In our opinion.
But what I was getting at was, is Guardians anything without Gunn?
I don't think so.
I think Guardians is the way it is because of Gunn.
I think Gunn's importance, at least to Guardians, but to the MCU, is shown in the fact that he was able to write an original, completely original story, do whatever he wants. It has nothing to do with the MCU. He was allowed to do whatever he wants. No other MCU director can say that.
He was shown more freedom.
He has more freedom than anyone.
That speaks volumes of what he must.
So Guardians is nothing without Gunn.
And he's established himself to have this sort of presence where I really, really respect what he says.
Awesome opinions.
Like when, I was happy to hear Jon Favreau say nice things about Civil War and like of Iron Man and of Spider-Man, but it's when James Gunn says, this is Spider-Man, this Tom Holland kid, and that's when you go, oh, I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
You're right. This is awesome.
He's also been very vocal about superhero movies being real movies, and just about Hollywood in general. He's got awesome opinions, and he's very outspoken about them, which is good. So, I like him a lot.
I do too. And he made me fall in love with the raccoon, which, kudos to you, sir.
Yeah.
Luke Cage comes to Netflix on September 20th. Mark your calendars.
OMG, that's like...
Mark it.
Super soon.
Mark it. IGN has already reviewed the first episode and gave it an 8 out of 10.
That's next Tuesday as of this recording right now.
Yeah.
The 20th?
20th.
Comes out on a Tuesday? Seems strange. Okay.
Benicio del Toro is in negotiations to star in Iron Man 3 director Shane Black's upcoming reboot of the Predator franchise.
Whoa.
Which is currently being dubbed The Predator.
Yay.
No plot details yet, but according to THR, the movie will be an ensemble piece anchored by the character to be played by Del Toro. So like the Predator movie starring
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, Big Nose.
Oh, Adam Brody.
Adam Brody. Remember? That was an ensemble piece. It had Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Yeah, I never even saw that one.
That movie had a cool story behind it.
Wait, maybe I did. Were they all like plucked up and put on a
Mm-hmm.
different planet? And okay,
That
I may have
movie,
watched that. At
that
some
movie
point.
had a really cool story behind it because the part of Adam Brody was actually originally designed for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was apparently a Predator 3 script that was lost, and it was never. It like went into development hell and just like never got made. And they found the script and just changed the main character from Arnold Schwarzenegger to be Adam Brody. But I think that's really cool to think about.
That's kind of cool. I'd like to see Predator become something, but I don't think it can in today's cinema.
I would like AVP to be something cool, like actually done well.
That never will be.
But the
Never will be.
potential was always there.
Nah, no, it's doomed.
The Underworld Bloodlines trailer has come out.
It has.
Kate
and I watched
Beckinsale.
it right before this.
Kate Beckinsale is returning as Selene. It seems better than the last one.
You know why? Because it looks just like the first movie.
Going back to the roots.
To try to save it. Except, I think
Oh, I just burped in the mic. I am so sorry.
they show her, like, Celine's blood's important for some reason. I have no idea why, because I haven't watched any of those movies since the second one.
The last one had to do about her daughter.
And then they show her, like, with, like, white hair, white pieces at the ends of her hair. And they're like, oh my goodness, what happened to her? And then they show her, like, fighting. So, something going on there.
No way, you don't say.
Yeah.
The Underworld franchise is a franchise that
Is it still in the future? I mean, I guess it has to be. Like, are vampires... Because wasn't that the thing with the last one? Like, it's a vampire world? Or were the vampires almost extinct? Or what?
I don't remember anymore.
What's going on over there?
I don't know.
Because there were no werewolves. It wasn't about werewolves in the last one. It was just about vampires. Because this
And
one's
her
like,
daughter.
oh man, the werewolves are back. And they're led by a new leader who's the wannabe Mark Strong from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. But the
his
Underworld
voice-
Underworld franchise is like the poster child of old Hollywood in franchising. You're
Yeah.
making it up as you go along, and boy, can you tell when those movies come
Yeah.
out, because there is no cohesion between those films.
None.
Plot holes. It's like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer confirms that Mr. Sinister will be in the next Wolverine movie in some capacity, and will obviously be the main villain of the next flagship film, X-Men.
Who will... Wait, what?
Mr. Sinister.
Oh. Okay. I got you.
Anne Hathaway wants to come back to the DC universe as Catwoman. Said she really loved her time, doesn't know how it could be done, but really wants to come back.
She's a liar. She just wants that money.
She wants that money, and we don't want it. She's stupid. She's so bad at Sling Kyle.
That...
She wasn't even Catwoman. She was Robin Hood as a woman. Her character as Catwoman was a terrible portrayal of that character.
That movie is one of the worst movies ever made. There's no way she enjoyed making that movie.
Delusions of Grandeur. But that movie, I hated The Dark Knight Rises.
But hey, I mean, we got a heroic movie about Harley Quinn coming out, so maybe Halle Berry will be Catwoman in that movie.
Halle Berry? Or Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway, yeah, sorry.
We don't talk about Halle Berry's Catwoman on this podcast.
Yeah, I totally went way further back on that.
PlayStation Pro comes out in November. Price point $499. It's going to be 4K capable. It's going to have the high frame rate. It's going to have a bigger hard drive. I forget what it is. PlayStation CEO has says that it's not the beginning of the next generation, and it's not going to blur the lines between the generations. But here's my thing with that.
But it is going to blur the lines.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like it's gotta be coming out right in the middle. You would assume. And here's my thing. I want it because I'm just that way, and I want the newest and next best thing. And I have a 4K TV, so it'd be really cool to. And at the was it the Sony Expo that they released all of this?
No, they did a special press conference by itself, like they did with the PS4.
They showed the PlayStation Pro being demoed on the Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
And it
Looks good.
looks phenomenal. But here's my thing. I don't want to lay down another $400 on PlayStation Pro if the PS5s can come out in 3 years' time. If that makes sense.
I mean, why not?
It just seems like a waste.
Nah. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years.
I'd be like, if you give me like 4 or 5 years, then okay.
No. PlayStation 4 won't last that long. The consoles they're gonna get to where like every 2.5 to 3 years they're releasing something new.
If it's that frequent, though, I feel like they really need to adjust how it's priced.
Well,
because you can't be dropping $500 every 2 years.
Well, I mean, as the lines blur between PC gaming and console gaming, and as the need is really there in order for gaming to keep progressing, for the technology to stay caught up. So, I mean, it's no different. People drop $200 on a new iPhone. Every year.
Okay, you're Greg and I'm Colin right now. That's what this is becoming.
So, I mean, I think that this is the beginning of maybe... I mean, there'll probably be a PlayStation 5 someday, but...
Well, okay. But I just remembered something. I'm going to kind of readjust what I said.
Okay.
They have been very vocal... Well, not very vocal, but they have inferred that the PlayStation Pro is the best way to use VR.
Yeah.
And I want to be all about the VR life. So I guess my decision has been made. I will be buying a PlayStation Pro when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to get a new sound system this year, but I guess I won't.
You don't need a sound system.
I want a new sound system. My sound system is old.
Sound systems are for dopes. You don't need no sound system.
You need that bass, baby.
Ah, man.
Rise of Iron comes out on Tuesday.
That's Destiny, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah, I moved on to the next point. Destiny Rise of Iron comes out on Tuesday.
There's actually
I'm very excited.
There's something going on right now, and hopefully I'll have enough time to get on. There's a mysterious website popped up today called the Owl Initiative or something like that, and it's basically like kind of like this, pretending to be like this warning system that's activated and is sending out messages about how there's a infection of some sort of mite, an alien mite, so M-I-T-E, mite, that's infecting Guardians. And if you get on right now, there are 5 different colored, like, it looks like fireflies flying around your head. And if you've got it and you get close to another Guardian, you infect them with it. And there's 5 different things. And each one gives you a buff to XP and rep. And nobody knows what it's for. Nobody knows what this...
That's not fair. I have an hour and a half drive to go home to. I'm not going to be able to get it.
It's probably going on more than today. But it's like this mystery. Like, they've been tossing us huge, almost ridiculous amounts of info on what's coming out in Rise of Iron, and then they throw something at us like this. Mysterious website about some infection, 5 different sort of buffs. If you get near somebody, you infect them.
You know, okay, for those who have been keeping up with our podcast, you know very well that Clayton has always loved Destiny, and I have been very wishy-washy on my
Destiny.
love. I love it, and I fall away from it because I get bored with it, and I come back. Rise of Iron, I cannot express to you how excited I am for Rise of Iron.
You're going to have so many things to do because you haven't done anything.
What are you talking about?
How many quests did you have to do?
So I've completed all the quests.
Your quest page is empty.
Yeah.
Your quest page is empty.
It's all stupid stuff.
No, it's not.
It's all stupid stuff.
It's not. It's actual quests that reward actual good rewards.
No, it's stupid stuff.
Do you have a conspiracy theory, D?
I don't. I think I have the starting of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I farted.
I heard you, and it's disgusting. And we're doing a podcast, and we're almost at an hour.
Well, your story took almost 25 minutes.
I know, and you made me tell it.
You could have told it in a faster way. Star Trek Discovery, the upcoming CBS All Access series, will now premiere in May, 4 months later than previously announced. Speaking to the Wrap, executive producers Alex Kurtzman and Brian Fuller, who is the showrunner, said they met with CBS before entering production and decided the extra time was necessary in order to achieve a vision we can all be proud of. Bringing Star Trek back to television carries a responsibility and mission to connect fans and newcomers alike to the series that has fed our imaginations since childhood. We aim to dream big and deliver, and that means making sure the demands of physical and post-production for a show that takes place entirely in space and need to meet an air date don't result in compromised quality. CBS will air the series' debut episode, which each of the following episodes streaming exclusively on CBS All Access in the US. Within a day, those episodes will then be available worldwide through Netflix or through Bell Media platforms for Canadian viewers. Last month, in addition to a bunch of other details, Fuller revealed Discovery will have a female lead who's not the ship's captain, and will be set approximately 10 years before Captain Kirk took command of the USS Enterprise. He also discussed how the ship's design will continue to evolve beyond that, which was previewed at the San Diego Comic-Con.
Cool.
I hate you.
Oh yeah, I'm really not interested in that show, to be honest.
What?
Nah, I don't care. I won't watch it probably.
Why?
I don't know. I just probably won't.
But it's Star Trek coming back.
Yeah, I'm not really interested.
Well, thank you for coming back to see us, Clayton and I, talk on Enter the Nerdosphere, your number one podcast for everything from the small screen to the silver screen, everything in between. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe on all of our platforms that are currently Podbean, iTunes, Facebook, and YouTube.
All the links are in the description.
Make sure to also leave us reviews on iTunes and comment below on the YouTube so we can create a very nice community amongst our fans and ourselves.
YouTube actually is expanding a little bit in their community ability.
Yeah.
There's like a feed now similar to almost like YouTube's version of like Facebook or Twitter, and it's so like the creator can like post pictures, messages and stuff, and people who subscribed, that'll pop up in their feed now.
Interesting.
If they want to see it. I mean, you can filter it out, but
Right.
I mean, it's kind of cool. We need to.
Another way to connect.
It'll be fun to utilize that to continue to build the community.
Be sure to be looking forward to our other programs like Nerdosphere Versus and Corbin's Monday Blueberry Blues.
Dear God, man, you teased that like 4 weeks ago.
It's coming, baby. We're filming it tonight.
What?
We're filming it tonight.
Are you effing serious right now?
Are you not?
Oh my gosh. That blueberry... I'm gonna... Spoilers right now. I'm spoiling one of your things. That blueberry ooey gooey butter cake, it ain't so ooey gooey anymore, I guarantee, after sitting in there for 4 weeks.
Nah.
I was looking at it, just opening the fridge looking for a snack, and I was just kind of staring at it, and I was like, that's a brick.
We'll see.
That's a brick right now.
We'll see.
We'll see. Goodness gracious.
So as always, for everything in the Nerdosphere, keep it right here.
We'll see you next time. It's a flippin' brick.